So I thought I'd do something a little different today. This is basically, I'm going to be saying basically my opinions of some Archie Sonic comics, which would be the earliest ones, because like these are the only ones that I technically have access to, which would be the ones from the Sonic Mega Collection. And obviously Archie comics, they aren't really around anymore. They don't really have Archie Sonic comics anymore. I mean, obviously they still have Archie comics, but due to the mishandling of the license with the papers that confirmed that they own, that the writers owned the characters, with papers being burned in a fire and Ken Pender's frivolous lawsuit just completely screwing everything over, the reboot essentially destroyed everything that the comic had when it comes to an actual identity justifying its existence. Which is a shame. At the very least, I'm sure it's good in quality to read, and it certainly attracted a lot of new fans, but that didn't make up for the fact that it clearly had dwindling sales, because obviously it's going to dump all the characters from the real continuity. That's going to piss off the entire fan base. So yeah, the reboot is essentially, it doesn't count. These are the real Sonic comics. That being said, I never really actually read them. I respect them. I respect them because they're a Sonic continuity. I know it may sound silly, but like, I respect these comics. I never really read them, though. I watched Mega Beatman's review for them, and I'm really interested in like the anti-freedom fighters and the concept. So I looked up that on YouTube. But yeah, I saw one comic at a store, but I have no idea what issue it was. The cover didn't tell me anything, so I sadly didn't pick it up. As for covers, let's talk about this one. I don't really... The characters look pretty shiny, don't they? I mean, this guy, Sonic and Knuckles look straight out of Sonic Heroes. Other than that, they put too much gel in their hair. Not to mention, I think Sonic's spines are a bit too short. I mean, he looks kind of weird. He doesn't really look like himself. They're too short even for classic Sonic. I like how he's being all serious, though. I mean, Sonic, I know he's a lighthearted character, and so he should be lighthearted, but if he's never taking anything seriously, that's gonna be hard to get invested. So let's see what this cover is trying to tell me. This cover, this issue, is only going to consist of Sonic, Knuckles, Super Sonic, I mean, he looks like that, and Bunny Rainbow. I didn't know her robot limbs were purple. I mean, I guess they are. Maybe that's the art style. I always pictured them being gray. Shouldn't she be falling over? I mean, she looks like she is. I mean, shouldn't she just fall from a really, really high distance and get hurt? That would suck. And I'm guessing that thing below Sonic is Super Sonic blasting away, but how can there be Super Sonic and Sonic in the same place? This isn't Fleetway, where Super Sonic separates himself from Sonic and becomes his own evil god of destruction. But it looks good aesthetically. That's all that really matters for the cover. It doesn't have to make sense. And right away we've got a Sad AM SWAT bot. I don't really like the SWAT bots. I mean, I never watched Sad AM, but I don't really like the concept of... I mean, the robots themselves, they look very generic. They don't... I mean, the whole thing that I like about the Badniks is that they're very unique in design. They're animals that are... They're basically robots that look like animals, and that's very unique. So, to have generic robots that are like... To have robots that walk on 2 feet, it doesn't seem very Sonic-like because it's just so... I don't know. But I guess the point of this is that it's... I mean, these comics started out with a huge influence from the old Sonic cartoons. So it makes sense that this would be here. Sonic... Published comic appearances of Sonic and Super Sonic. do they not know that they're not separate characters? I mean, I'm starting to think maybe the cover was like that for a reason. It also offers us the opportunity to fix the inconsistencies that appear in many early stories. Well, I guess that would make sense. I mean, when you think about it, they did, like, back in the old classic era, I'm not sure if I was alive back then, but this is what I'm gathering. They didn't really have much continuity. They certainly didn't have that in the games. Yeah, Sally was miscolored. But, yeah, they basically didn't really have any sort of major story arcs going on for people to get invested in the series more. So, the comic continuity was basically the main continuity back then. Like, people were talking about Sonic Adventure when it was not out yet, and they were accusing Tikal of being a ripoff of Echidna characters in the comics. And they were just assuming that they would keep up the comic continuity for the games. And if they did that, that would be interesting until they would not be able to do it anymore because the comics would get cancelled. And like Ken Pender's... Oh, there's actually a Sonic the Hedgehog image in there. I didn't even notice that. Looks nice, I guess. But yeah, I think it would be more story involved, the games. But then they would eventually not be able to do that anymore because, well, during the whole Sega America owns Freedom Fighters and Sega Japan hates Americans, so they wouldn't be able to, they wouldn't want to put them in the games. But it's also the fact that, again, the comics would end up being cancelled. Archie's Sonic is basically dead, so would the games be dead by this point too? Would they have to do a whole reboot thing for the games too? But anyways, the comics started out being very much like the more lighthearted Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. So, as a result, they're kind of weird in their tone at first because they're a lot more comedic, like kitty. I don't think it's Sonic Colors bad though, but it has been a long time since I've read this. Like right away you can see, I mean, they got the evil looking Sad AM design for Robotnik. I don't really like that. I never really liked the dark and edgy look for Robotnik. I say this as someone who normally rolls their eyes at the whole dark and edgy complaints. Even I don't really like the way this character looks. It's like, it's good that the villain is making me to look menacing, but this looks like it's going overboard. It also seems to be based on a fundamental misinterpretation of what the sprite of Robotnik looks like in the games. He was wearing glasses. He wasn't supposed to have black eyes, literally. Not to mention, there was never any indication that he had red eyes. There was no pixel of red in the sprite of Eggman's glasses. So why would they even have him have red eyes? Oh god, that Tails... Ugh! Why? That's the biggest problem with the old Archie Sonic art to me, is... Oh god, why does Tails look so bad? And he looked even worse in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, because from what I've seen, he was brown. Why did they get his color wrong? I mean, you have to really screw up to get the color wrong. I mean, that's like making Sonic green. I get that young foxes are supposed to be more brown, but still. So basically, it looks like Eggman's plan is to stop Sonic in his tracks with a liquid that will stop him in his tracks. So it's pretty smart. Oh good, they got Sally's color right. I think the rest of them look good, except for Manchwan. Ugh. But yeah, that's a pretty genre-savvy plan of Eggman right away. Why doesn't he do that more often? I mean, I guess his Eggmobile can't really keep up with Sonic, and he can't predict where exactly he's going to go, so he can't move ahead of him and do it ahead of him. So most of these Badniks look pretty good, but the Buzz Bomber doesn't look anything like it does in the game. It looks, again, like it's trying way too hard to be intimidating. But again, I guess I shouldn't be complaining about that because he's a villain, so he should be more intimidating. I gauged your speed. I always assumed that Sonic was like literally running exactly at the speed of sound, I guess the comics do make him run over the speed of light. So, this ain't love. I like that line. And I like that line too. Like, I think Sonic looks pretty alright here. I mean, sometimes he looks pretty weird. Like, look at his head. I mean, if it weren't for the spines in the back, that would look really weird. He kind of almost looks like a squirrel, but it's decent enough. I think fan comic artists generally they have art that looks better. Why are you freaking out over a freaking cattle killer? And why is the cattle killer able to talk? Huh? The Badniks never talked in the game. Why would Eggman make a mere animal robot that would presumably have mere animal intelligence be able to talk? That's weird. And but seriously, Sonic, why are you stopping? Why don't you just jump into it? Sonic's cockiness and pride was making him look back at Eggman, which he shouldn't have been doing. He should have been looking where he was going. Sure, it's good that he's able to stop in time, then. Why the hell did he stop making that liquid? I mean, if he had kept going, shooting liquid, then he would have caught up to Sonic because he would have stopped, and he would have won. Idiot. You will tell me the location of Knothole. How would you not know that already? I mean, you have advanced technology. Wouldn't the comic world have satellites that would reveal the location of Knothole? I mean, unless it has a roof over it, and you think that Eggman would be suspicious of seeing a roof over the entire village. Is the entire village underground? Or maybe he can see the village from satellites and just doesn't know what that specific village wants to destroy. But you'd think someone as crazy and evil as Eggman would just destroy every single village ever just in case, because he's that insane. I don't think they ever gave him a proper backstory to make him a proper character in the comics. That's something the games did better. So that's a good establishing character moment for him. Again, why is that Badnik talking? That sounds like a nitpick, but it just seems really stupid. And it's also, like, the fact that no one's addressing this just makes it feel all the more out of place. So that's good. Like, they acknowledge the spin jump right away. They don't just have him jump normally, like in the boost games when you just lightly tap the A button. He must have been spraying at a really, really big force to just completely destroy it, rather than just keeping it still. What would that have done to Sonic? So Sonic is basically a dick here. I mean, constantly making fun of Eggman's weight. He's basically like in Colors, but for some reason I find him a lot more sympathetic and entertaining here. Maybe it's because... oh, got a juice. I guess that was considered cool back then, or charming at the very least. But anyways, there's just something about, like in Colors, he was so much more, he felt like a high school douchebag, Call of Duty dipshit in Colors. He felt like completely unsympathetic. In this comic, he's a brat, no doubt, but he's at the very least doing it to someone who deserves it, and I don't know, he just seems more likable, more entertaining, not a college dude bro. Get what I mean? Metal mouth. Is Eggman's mouth made of metal? It really, really doesn't look like it. It looks like he could be wearing metal gloves, and maybe that's his actual hands. Ugh. Fourth wall breaking. Just like in Colors. Well, it is made for kids, I guess. I mean, this was definitely back when they had the more kiddie tone for the comics. I prefer that to being as dark as absolutely possible, like at the tail end of the reboot when, like, they were pretty much making every single terrible thing they could have thought of happen to the freedom fighters. And it just went a little overboard, like literally putting one comic book character into a coma. I think that's like soap opera levels. Why are his eyelids white? I know people will accept that because that's what the cartoons always did, but I don't like that design. Oh, here his eyelids are blue. Why? That's so inconsistent. There's the proper characterization for Tails. I mean, I prefer for him to be a lot more competent, but that doesn't mean he can't respect Sonic, the person who raised him. And there's Sally, being, like, responsible leader. I can respect that. I don't entirely like the way she looks here. I just prefer her having a vest or something, so it doesn't look like she's completely naked. I don't know, I know it's a stupid thing to have a double standard against a girl anthropomorphic character. I don't entirely like her reboot design, so I'm not saying that. I like how they poke fun at her being a worrywart, instead of just making her completely... Like, people say she's a Mary Sue, but it's not 100% bad. Because here we have Sonic, the protagonist right from the very beginning, and he's making fun of her, and with no real consequences of that. He's poking fun at a princess, and all she goes is like, huh. She doesn't go, I'm going to execute you for disrespecting me, or something. There's Tails admiring Sonic once again. I don't really like the look on Rotor there. Like, he looks like he's stoned or something. I don't get the appeal of Rotor, to be honest. So is Sally being sarcastic there? Because she looks like she's really annoyed. I don't really get the whole point with... I don't really get comics having characters who are farther away in the shots be really dark and all one color. Are they just being lazy with the coloring? Because I don't really like that. It's so obvious. Like, I guess that's the whole point, that she's a tsundere. So she idolizes him. And yet she was just one page ago insulting him. Huh? I guess it's a point, she's a tsundere, but how can she idolize him and have no respect for him because of his impatience and not being very smart and stuff? Does she respect him or not? So, is this the first time that Sonic's ever met him? I mean, like right here. Does he know him already? Has he heard of him already? Because I would have assumed that in the first issue they would have already known Antoine for a long time by that point. But I guess this is the first time he sees him. Why would he have no respect for him at this point? Why has he done anything to deserve that? I'm honestly curious. So, that's actually pretty funny. So, does he just think he's stuck up? Is he jealous because he happens to have the job that he has? Oh, good, just hold A. Good. So, in Knothole, not in the base. So, the entire village is underground with no access to sun. Come to think of it, how the hell do they have lighting? Because, like, are there light switches on the ceiling that we're not seeing? But more importantly, how are they not running out of air? Are there air vents? So, like, is this place built under a river? Is that how the rain is getting through there? Trickle down technology. Okay, then. Sally looks pretty sympathetic there, being worried. Ant. It took me a while to actually figure out what that meant, because I usually think of his abbreviation of Antoine's name being Chwan. Ant seems pretty weird. But yeah, he does have a point here, because he's not really doing a very good job. I mean, it just seems kind of melodramatic, is that the word? I don't know, like underwhelming, his dramatic speech. I guess that is how it is. But I mean, why would there be a leak in the first place? I mean, it doesn't really look like there should be a leak. I mean, it's not like it's a regular roof or anything. How, seriously, how have they not found it already? I mean, I guess it is underground. Okay, seriously, how is he not insulted by this? Seriously, how? This is why I don't think Eggman is a good character. This is why I don't think he works as a villain on his own. No one in real life, and I know this is a cartoon, but even in fiction, you can't have a believable, well-written character know they're evil. That's psychologically impossible. Like, why would he not be offended by this? People delude themselves in thinking that they're good people. Why would he have all that there? I mean, I guess this is supposed to be definitely appealing to little kids. But the whole point of a comic is you're reading a lot in a comic. So why would comics be appealed to little kids? When little kids aren't going to want to read for a long period of time, a whole bunch of text, and stuff like that. So are they going to drain the source of the leak? Drain a river? I thought they were all nature lovers and they're opposed to draining lakes as a result. Ugh. At what point has he proven that he's a warrior? Like, I don't know. Like, when he's actually acting arrogant, he can just go fuck himself. But I do feel sorry for him when Sonic, a supposed hero, is blatantly bullying him like this. Was Sonic tripping him? Or did he just accidentally walk into the water? Because I wouldn't be surprised at all if this Sonic tripped him like Scourge. Because, yeah. Sonic is being an absolute dick here, but I guess... No, I can't really think of a way to justify this. I mean, it is annoying that he's being arrogant and seeming to think too much of himself. I mean, he is in an important royal soldier position, I guess. So you have to take that job seriously, but still, Sonic is very clearly acting like a bully here, and it makes you wonder what the hell, like what kind of ego he has or something. Willow's crying? That's stupid. Or, well, I guess this is a sort of magical universe, so maybe these are magical willows. Maybe they're dryads. Maybe they're tree spirits, and they're crying, and as a result, their actual tree bodies are crying as a result. But, like, wouldn't it just be obvious that it's just rain that's falling out of the willow tree? Isn't that how it works? Doesn't rain collect in willows and then it falls? Or maybe it literally is that way, and that's just crazy. I mean, it's a magical dimension after all. Maybe just chaos energy makes them rain. Why did he ask him not to finish his sentences? I mean, I guess that was annoying. Oh, it's a checker record ball from Sonic 1. I guess the whole nostalgic reference thing. They do think of a lot of their own original ideas, so I don't really mind seeing game references in the comics at this point. Robot nude, Nick? Okay then. It's definitely... I definitely prefer Eggman in that sense. Although Robotnik is definitely a lot more comedic than Eggman. Because Eggman doesn't really do anything for me, to be honest. That's a bad joke. Seriously, why would he say this if he was going to talk about this, also it was his really stupid idea of a joke at the wrong time. He must really not take the situation seriously, just like Sonic. I mean, Sonic can run at the speed of sound, so that must be a really fast Eggmobile then, but it makes sense that they wouldn't at all believe that Robotnik, aside from Sally, that Robotnik is an actual threat to them. The rings rise and fall? Why? Why would they rise and fall? That is a source of actual, genuine tension. So that's good. And that's really convenient, because obviously otherwise they would be pretty much screwed. So this is good right away. They're actually using something from the games, the rings, and explaining it. Making it some sort of magical... Well, I don't think it should be a power-up thing, but... because it just grants invincibility for as long as you have it. But instead they seem to make it into some sort of all-purpose magical artifact. And I guess it just magically spawns from chaos energy being in the universe. Because otherwise you'd have the question of who made it and who left it lying around. But here it just seems to be a grant your wishes sort of thing. And I heard that rings can grant your wishes in the old comics. Which seems like it should be like, okay, grab a wish and wish that Robotnik is dead. There's... Now you don't have to worry about anything anymore. I don't know, it seems like a get-out-of-jail-free card. Making the rings be overpowered like that. But there was a genuine source of tension earlier with Robotnik being really close to them, so... I guess it works, but... I would have preferred it if he, like... I don't know, actually jumped... I mean, he had no problem with jumping at the Eggmobile to damage it in Sonic 1, so I don't know why he couldn't just do that in this game. In this comic. I'm so used to talking about the games, but... So, there's the freedom fighters being nature lovers as always. Seriously, are these magical trees? Why are they weeping? Are they just literally sentient? And here we have another moment of Antoine being blatantly bullied. Seriously, how are they not objecting to this? How is Sally not objecting to this? How does she not already know about this and go, this is wrong, you shouldn't be treating him like this, get him out? And Tails, why isn't he objecting to this? He's supposed to be this sweet kid, and yet he has no problem whatsoever with Antoine being bullied. I guess they all view it as him deserving it, but still, some heroes. I just don't understand why they put him to waste by supervising planting trees. I mean, I guess he should be guarding them from any potential danger, but then don't call it supervising, just call it Sonic guarding them.